If you're in business right now, no doubt you have all the best intentions moving forward. But then some things like rejection or failure or things like tech issues, for God's sake, can lower your vibration. And when you lower your vibration, no doubt it comes across in terms of desperation, in terms of frustration, in terms of anger. So what I thought I'd do is I put together this video that highlights 3 areas of negative vibration and negative energy that you should be aware of, and 4 steps to not only protect your energy, but also to heighten your level of emotional state so that comes across in your clients, comes across in your content, definitely comes across in your programs. So let's dive in. So yes, welcome to another episode of the Awaken Your Business podcast. It's a pleasure to have you here, pleasure to have this discussion. So now a lot of people come to me and they have these areas of frustration or doubt, or they have this negative energy around them. And they're wondering, how do I stop this negative energy seeping through not only to my energy, but through to my business, where I'm trying to give, I'm trying to get out and make more impact, create more income for myself. What do I do? Well, the first thing we can tackle is, what is this energy? Like, what is this downward energy? What is this negative energy that might be around us? And how can we describe that? Well, I think it's clear to understand there is no right or wrong energy. There is no good or bad energy, right? The energy that you may feel may be of a lower vibration and of a higher vibration. Like if it's a higher vibration, it feels higher, it feels amazing because it's closer to who and what you are. It's closer to your source. It's closer to love, right? But if it's a quote unquote negative energy, we'll call it negative energy, but if it's a lower energy, it's just a lower vibration. It's not that it's bad. It's not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just a lower vibration. And in the world of business, we could call this high levels of vibration as resourceful mental and emotional states. And as the lower one, we can call it unresourceful mental and emotional states. The question is, what is that energy? Now, to start off with, because it's not good or bad, the reason why that is because if there's just one singularity, if there's just one truth, it's love. Now, if there's just one truth of love, there's no opposite to love. There's just, are you further away from it? Are you further away from love, or are you closer to love? Right? And that's the energy of the universe. So it's the reason why it's not good or bad, right or wrong, is because it's just further away or closer to the one thing that is true, and that is love. So that's what we can talk about moving forward. When we discuss things like this, what you'll learn are the 3 types of areas of this quote unquote negative energy or further away from love energy, and how you can be aware of it. And then I'll go into the 4 steps, the 4 things that I've learned, the 4 things that I've been able to implement to not only protect my energy, to make sure it's a high state, but to also be in a state of love, of service, of contribution for me and for my business, so I can rock and roll moving forward with a place of resourcefulness so I can serve at a higher level. Now, the first area of negative energy I want to highlight is your beliefs. What are your beliefs? What are your beliefs about business? What are your beliefs about yourself? What are your beliefs about what's possible? What are your beliefs about other people? Whatever your beliefs are, however your beliefs are representing in your life determines what's possible for you, and it determines your mental and emotional state. Now, the way I describe different beliefs are if you have a conveyor belt of thoughts. I'm sure you've heard this analogy before. If you have a conveyor belt of thoughts, they cycle through our head unconsciously time and time and time again. Now, the thoughts that we believe most often, the thoughts that we keep thinking, are the ones we believe. Now, we have to pay very, very close attention to this, because if your vibration is dependent upon what you believe, and what you believe is determined upon what thoughts you're thinking most often and most consistently, then you can start to be aware of, what are my thoughts? What are my thoughts about business? What are my thoughts and beliefs about myself? What are my thoughts and beliefs about what's possible? And so when you're going throughout your day, if you feel this negative vibration or a low vibration or something that's coming up that might be uncomfortable, you can ask yourself the question, out of the conveyor belt of unlimited thoughts that I could be thinking and that are unconsciously just flowing through my mind, which ones am I believing? Which ones am I believing? And once you have that, it'll give you a very good source of where on the scale of resourceful and unresourceful am I being because of the thoughts that I'm thinking, because of the beliefs that I'm believing. So you can feel free to just pause this video, have a think about this now. What is it about your life? What is it about your energy that is shifting because of the beliefs that you have? The source of negative energy number 2 are vampires. We all know this. We all know there's energy sucking vampires in our life. Now, this isn't good or bad, right or wrong. There are just some people who are almost unconscious to what they do with their energy. And there are some people who give energy. There are some people who take energy, right? I'm sure you have been with someone who's got on a call with you, whether it's a Zoom call, whether it's a phone call, even going out to lunch. They want to go out to lunch with you. All of a sudden, they just dump all their problems on you. They discuss their problems. They discuss what's going on in their life. And that's all they talk about. You can't even get a word in. And then all of a sudden, they feel great. They get up and they leave. And not only have you never not got a word in, but you truly feel like, man, all this stuff's just been dumped on me, right? And that's because sometimes some energy vampires don't necessarily know what they're doing. They just know what feels good for them. They just know to get energy, I need to take it from other people. And if you're around people like that, you're going to feel your energy being sucked, right? We're going to go in a minute to things and what you can do to protect yourself. But here's the thing. Be mindful of who you're around. Be mindful of who and which you're able to spend the most time with. Because if you're spending most time with energy vampires, you're going to feel that. You're going to feel that energy suck. You're going to feel like, they're taking your energy. And unless you know how to protect yourself, it can really, really start to get you in an unresourceful state. And then operating in your business from that place, it's not going to lead to many results. Negative energy source number 3. This is your inner child. Now, everyone knows I love the inner child work. And once again, it's not necessarily negative energy, but it's unresourceful energy. It's energy that's uncomfortable. It's not good or bad, especially when it comes to this. Beliefs are kind of just like this conveyor belt, right? Of beliefs, of thoughts that just keep floating, and what you choose to believe, what you can choose to consistently think, that becomes your belief. When it comes to your inner child work, these fears, these deep-seated fears, doubts, and frustrations can come up. But they're actually coming up because they're ready to be seen. They're ready to be felt. They're ready to be understood and loved unconditionally. And this can come down to many, many different patterns. But obviously from childhood, we develop patterns on who we feel like we need to be and what our life needs to look like out there in order for us to be safe, in order for us to be enough, in order for us to be loved. Often in the world of business, we feel this come up. We feel the energy, we feel the doubt, the uncertainty, the fear. If you can feel at some level, it's coming from a pattern of you needing to feel safe and you needing to feel loved, you needing to feel enough. This is different from a thought. It's an internal pattern. This is your internal child coming up that needs to be processed, needs to be seen, needs to be heard and felt and understood and loved. So feel into that. This may be, it may be dampening your energy and your vibration and your mental and emotional state from an unresourceful place because it's ready to transcend, it's ready to leave, it's ready to be seen. And so how you feel into this will determine your success moving forward. But these are the 3 that you truly want to operate from in your business, be aware of in your business, right? Be aware of your beliefs, be aware of energy vampires out there in your environment that might not be necessarily aligned with you. And then 3, being aware of these internal children within you, these internal patterns that are just coming up to be seen, coming up to be released, coming up to be heard and felt and loved and understood, right? And so if you can feel into these 3, you can be more aware of them. You'll definitely be starting to be more aware of the patterns and the shifts in your life that might be dampening your energy, and therefore you can move forward on how to protect it. So moving on to the 4 steps of how to protect your energy, how to maintain that vibration. 1 is know thyself. We have heard this so much, not only personal development, but also spiritual texts. Know thyself. How are you going to know thyself and how is it going to protect you? Knowing thyself is all about reminding yourself Who and what you are is so much more than anything that can happen to you. Who and what you are is so much more. Who and what you are is spirit. So therefore, you're in this 3D plane operating from a 5D consciousness, and you're coming here, you're coming down to this 3D plane in order to get the lessons necessary, right? Another way of explaining this is an affirmation. I'm in this world, but not of this world. Reminding yourself of that day in, day out, no matter what you're doing in your business, whether you're online, whether you're on sales calls, whether you're doing your marketing and your content and all those different things. Reminding yourself each and every time, I'm in this world, but I'm not of this world. Reminding yourself who and what I am is so much more than anything that can happen to me, so much more than any results I can achieve. It instantly reminds you of who and what you are. And you can feel this in yourself. The more you remind yourself of that affirmation, you start distancing yourself from the things that you might be attached to. You might be attached to results, attached to people, attached to certain things that need to be a certain way. Call it perfectionism, whatever it is. But you can remind yourself of this affirmation. And the more you remind yourself of this affirmation of I am in this world but not of this world, it'll put everything in perspective. And the rest of the steps sort of flow on from this once you understand this principle and you remind yourself day in, day out. The second step to protecting your energy is your focus. Day in, day out, when you wake up, when you put your feet on the floor off the bed and you're starting to get ready for your day, what are you focused on? What are you focused on? Where is your attention? Is it on what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad? Is it on the past, the present, the future? Is it on what's in your control, what's outside your control? Where is your focus? Here's the question when you're in business. Is your primary focus towards what you can get or what you can give? Is it towards service and love, or is it towards what you can get and the social media numbers and the different clients that will bring in income? Where is your primary focus? Once again, it's not good or bad, but I'm sure you can feel one place of focus will shift your energy. It'll protect your energy. Have you ever been in a space where you felt like I needed more income to feel safe? I need more clients and more recognition to feel enough, to feel worthy. What happens then when someone says no? What happens then when you're rejected? What happens then when you do a Facebook Live and you look silly or someone makes a bad comment? What happens then to your energy and your vibration? But if your focus is towards service, if your focus is towards giving more value, what happens when someone says no and you're just there to serve? You're just there to help. You're just there to give. And they say, no, I don't want this. Or they say, oh my God, this is horrible. Or someone on social media gives you a bad rap. Can you see that your energy is different? Because your focus is different and your attention is different. And one mantra, one motto that I love going by is, I am where my attention is. I am where my attention is. Wherever my attention is, if it's towards service and love, that's what I'm being. If it's towards, what I can get and being attached to outcomes, who I am is desperation. Who I am is neediness, right? You can feel that. So ask yourself, where is your focus? Where is your attention? And what is that doing to your energy? Step number 3 to protecting your energy is your spiritual practice. As daily reminders, we can be meditating. We can be going on walks. You can be doing music or doing sound, qigong. What is it for you? Maybe it might be reading. What is your spiritual practice that's going to remind yourself that who and what I am is more than anything that can happen to me, but who I am is more heart-centered. Every spiritual practice should get you more centered, more still, right? More aligned with who and what you are. If you have a daily spiritual practice, even if it's for 10 minutes, if that is locked in your calendar, if it's locked in your day and it's locked in your patterns, then you're going to consistently remind yourself of what's true. And couple this with the other steps. If you dive into your practice and do it consistently, you're always going to be reminded. You're always going to be in flow. You're going to be taking a back step. Whenever you take that 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, If you have your practice that's aligned for you, then you're definitely going to be reminded consistently, and it's definitely going to bring you back to a place of centeredness. The fourth step with protecting your energy is all about aligned action, because we can think, we can feel all we want. The universe responds to what we do, right? The universe says, hey, I've sent you something exciting. I've sent you something that feels aligned. What are you going to do with it? It's up to you in those moments. If you respond with, oh, I'll do that once this happens, or I'll jump in and I'll make this happen once I have the right finances or resources or people come into my life. The universe responds to you through what you do. It gives you insight in terms of how you feel, in terms of this feels exciting, this feels expansive, this feels scary, but let's do it. But how you make your decisions and the actions that you take need to be aligned with your higher self. This protects your energy. If you're in flow, if you're doing what you love, if you're there serving, if you're there contributing, if you're there creating in a way that's aligned, can you feel that your energy is centered? It's through creation. It's in a space of service. Your energy is high. And then when something happens, something happens that your mind thinks shouldn't happen, what do you feel? It just washes over you. But if you're not doing what you know you should be doing, if you're not doing what's in flow, you're not doing what is aligned, you're not doing what feels expansive, you are triggered by many, many things. You're triggered by other people. You're triggered by results. You're triggered by other people's opinion. And your energy is zapped. Your energy is zapped because you're not in that space of action that is aligned. But if you take those leaps, if you follow your heart's calling, if you're doing those things and creating from a space of alignment, whether that be art, whether it be exercise, whether it be with your diet, whether it be in business, creating the things that feel expansive, launching that program, inviting new clients, right? Being creative with the programs and free content you put out there that would give value. When you're creating, you're taking those aligned actions, your energy is so much higher. You're more resourceful with what you can do. And so they're the 4 steps. The 4 steps of truly just protecting your energy and being in a space of understanding what might bring it down or what might give you to unresourcefulness compared to resourcefulness, compared to love, service, contribution, creativity, passion, playfulness, for God's sake, right? Understanding how to implement these in your life will really start to transform. It's transformed my life. It's got me in a place where I felt stuck to a place where I'm moving forward consistently. And so I know this is going to shift. So feel free to implement this and see what changes happen for you. But now it's time for you to share your truth. I'd love to hear which one of these 4 resonates with you most and which one will you be implementing in your life. Feel free to comment below. Let me know that, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care, guys.